Let's begin discussing the Tier 2 interventions, if none of the Tier 1 interventions produced any results. Now, when a teacher or parent believes a student continues to struggle in the classroom, the teacher and parent can make suggested additions and adjustments to the previous steps implemented as part of Tier 1. The following additions and changes would fall in the second or middle tier of the RTI 2 model. These steps involve: number 1, working with an intervention problem-solving team. Number 2, monitoring student progress more frequently and strategically. Number 3, providing small group instruction. Number 4, providing general accommodations. Number 5, conducting additional observations. Number 6, engaging in purposeful homeschool collaboration. Working with an intervention problem-solving team. Once a teacher has attempted Tier 1 instruction and the general supports outlined earlier were implemented without enough documentation of success, further assistance may be needed to provide the teacher and student with additional support. Most schools should have an intervention team process where a teacher can obtain further assistance regarding how to support a particular student or groups of students. This, in some schools, is known as the Student Study Team, Teacher Assistance Team, Building Assistance Team, or other name. The team may include multiple general education teachers, including the student's teacher, a specialist, an administrator, and sometimes the parent. Intervention team members should include qualified professionals with the experience and expertise in the language and cultural background of the student. This is not to be confused with an IEP team. In its simplest form, the team considers possible reasons for a student's difficulty. Is the student experiencing difficulties with school due to a lack of clear instructions, a need for appropriate materials or more strategic instruction, or multiple demands or a lack of skills or poor communication? The reason for experiencing problems at school likely come from multiple sources. Putting the blame on one person or issue is probably not the whole story. As a result, the team develops a goal or set of goals to address the most problematic issues affecting the student's learning. An action plan with selected strategies to meet those goals is developed, and the individuals who will implement those strategies are listed. The action plan should begin immediately and its success monitored. The intervention team should reconvene after a specific set of weeks, perhaps 6 or 8 weeks, to check on the effectiveness of the plan. The team should allow enough time to pass in order to determine if the action plan is working and or if it needs further adjustments. Providing small group instruction. Students who have been selected to receive additional Tier 2 academic support should receive evidence-based instruction above and beyond their general classroom instruction. That is, more frequent, rigorous, targeted, explicit, and direct in order to address the student's areas of concern. The following are components of small group instruction. Small group instruction can be conducted within the student's general education classroom or be provided in another setting outside of the classroom, like the library or neighboring classroom or other setting. Depending on the school, small group intervention instruction can be provided by the classroom teacher or other specialist. Training is important. schools determine whether to select between using specific, evidence-based, culturally responsive intervention programs or select teacher-developed curriculum that is based on known evidence-based practices. Effective intervention should include frequent opportunities for students to respond, multiple opportunities for critical feedback, goal-specific instruction, connect content and learning to students' background and language when appropriate, and frequent progress monitoring. Intervention instruction can be conducted either individually or involve other students having similar needs. Providing intervention in small groups of 3 to 5 students is as effective as providing one-to-one instruction. But this always depends on how much assistance is required for a particular student and the level of support provided. Depending on the needs of the student, the frequency of intervention instruction should be between 3 to 5 times per week in order for the student to benefit from this assistance. This depends on the student's level of need. How much time is allotted will depend on the skill or skills being taught and the age of the student. This instruction may range from 15 minutes to 90 minutes of instruction, above and beyond what the student receives in the specific content area through the general ed curriculum, a content area like reading. How long the intervention instruction is provided will vary depending on the school or district. Intervention may involve 6 to 8 weeks of instruction. Schools and districts will vary in their decision rules for whether to continue students in Tier 2 intervention support or allow them to return to Tier 1 supports only after demonstrated progress. Teachers should continue to monitor students who have shown progress and no longer require small group or individualized instruction to ensure progress is maintained. Monitoring students' progress more frequently and strategically. Once the student begins to receive additional small group instruction above and beyond the instruction they receive in the general education curriculum, their progress is monitored more frequently, either weekly or bi-weekly, and these results reviewed and compared to other students with a similar background, such as language, education, culture. Providing general accommodations. The teacher should continue to modify and or add additional accommodations to facilitate a student's learning. In Tier 2, teachers and parents should monitor and document the effectiveness of these accommodations. Accommodations do not replace instructional intervention when students demonstrate obvious skill deficits. Conducting additional observations. When a student is still experiencing difficulty with learning, additional observations can be conducted that are now more targeted and completed by more specialized personnel, like a school psychologist. The purpose of these observations is to inform the intervention team's action plan and to assist the student in the general education program. This documentation should then be shared and discussed with the teacher in order to make additional changes to general instruction, to the intervention, and possibly assignments. These observations should also serve as opportunities to provide the teacher with additional suggestions regarding how to further optimize their teaching practices, as well as the student's learning and progress. At any time, parents can choose to observe their child in the classroom. However, school sites and districts may differ in their specific guidelines and policies regarding parent observations. Districts may specify when and for how long parents can observe their child in the classroom. Classroom observations can help parents better understand how their child is performing in the classroom, as well as to understand grade level and classroom expectations. Engaging in purposeful homeschool collaboration. Parents can also contribute to the action plan by supporting the child at home in multiple ways, including documenting their child's language or behavior by taking pictures, videotaping, or journaling. They can communicate with the teacher regarding homework completion via a notebook or a journal, emails or notes to the teacher, or other acceptable method for the family and teacher. Arranging for a family or community member to provide individualized homework assistance when available, and other methods. Methods and strategies selected should be discussed explicitly with family members in order to select the most appropriate and comfortable methods for the family. Once the team or professionals suspect a disability, a formal referral for special education evaluation should be made and parent consent obtained. Keep this in mind during Tier 2 supports, screenings, observations, and meetings.